Hey everyone, welcome to another Will I Buy It. In this video I'm going to be talking about all the new makeup releases of the past 2 weeks. I'm going to tell you if I'm interested in them or if I'm skipping over them. And of course I would love to hear from you in the comments what you think about these new releases. I always love chatting about your opinions. I always love hearing your opinions. So we have some very exciting things to talk about today. Let's get right into it. So if you haven't been on my channel before, my name is Marley and I love making YouTube videos about makeup and beauty. I love doing looks, swatches, reviews, will I buy it videos, all those kinds of things. So if that sounds good to you, then don't forget to subscribe. I usually upload about 2 to 3 videos a week. Often it's also more, it kind of depends. And I would love to see you again on my channel. So let's get into the new releases. I always link the pages I read from down below. So those are the pages where I get my makeup news from. So you can check them out for yourself. Also, this series is inspired by Angelica Nyqvist and Samantha March. I always link their YouTube channels and their Will I Buy It videos down below as well. So let me see. I feel like there's a lot that has been released since I last filmed. I feel like there are a lot of new releases and actually quite exciting things. I don't know if I really want to pick up anything, but let's start with these new major Sculpt cream, contour and powder products duos from Patrick Ta. I have never tried anything from his brand. I do kind of like the aesthetic. I do like how it looks. It doesn't pull me in completely, but I also don't hate it. I feel like I've heard some mixed things about this like cream and powder duos. Like I heard someone say that they didn't like it, then other people said that they do like it. And I'm not entirely sure if I want to take the risk. Like I like the look of these, I like the idea of this. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna pick this up and like it. I might watch a review, but I'm also a little bit on the fence about cream products. I really like the idea of it and I kind of would like to try some things, but at the same time when I see people apply cream products, the thing that they like about it is that it looks so natural, that it really blends into their foundation, that it has this natural glow. It almost looks like you're not wearing anything. And what I really like with like bronzer and blush is that it kind of like makes my skin more smooth, because I don't really wear foundation. Sometimes I wear a little bit of concealer, but that's basically it. I don't really use anything else to make my skin look better, so then I like it when my cheek products actually make my skin look good and more smooth. So that's kind of why I haven't really like gotten into creams yet, because I feel like that isn't really something that creams can give you. That's in general, when I see a cream product I'm quite interested, but I don't know if I'm really gonna like it. And I think first I should maybe try something a little bit more affordable, and then maybe if I get into cream someday I might try something like this Patrick Ta duo. But right now I don't think it's the best idea if I go and buy a really expensive cream product. So I don't think I'm gonna be picking anything from this launch up, but maybe one day I will try his brands. Maybe one day I will try some of his cream products. I did like the look of his blushes, but also I bought a lot of blush this past month or two, so I'm gonna skip over this. Then we have this new collection by Milani, and it's called the Gun Glamping Collection, and it looks like a vintage kind of, what's it called? Like a vintage kind of like van. And to be honest, when I first saw this, I thought it was kind of cute. Normally, I don't like packaging that is really like bulky and has a weird shape and is like difficult to store. But when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's pretty cute. But I don't like the color story, I don't like the colors in here. I do like this vintage vibe. There's just something about it that I like, but I wouldn't buy it. I just think this little van is kind of cute. But also I kind of like vintage things, like vintage style sometimes. So I guess that's kind of what gets me here. But like the color story is quite generic, nothing really special, and I think a lot of people are not gonna buy it because it has this shape. So I don't know if this is like the best launch. Then we have a new collection by Hipdot. It's with Hello Kitty. It feels like months ago that I did my last Will I Buy It. So with some things I kind of feel like I already talked about them, but I think that's because I've already seen them like 2 weeks ago. So I kept seeing them on my Instagram and that makes me feel like I've already talked about them. But yeah, we have this Hello Kitty 9 pan and some other things, I don't really care. Lip gloss, mascara. It's not like I hate what Hipdot's releases look like, but it's also not something that makes me want to buy it. It's just, I don't feel like this is a real brand because everything I see from them is collabs. But I'm also not intrigued enough to really see if they have anything else, to like check their website. So I'm just not really interested in this brand. I don't hate the look of this palette, but I'm not gonna buy anything from this. Then we have the new Onesize powder foundation. I guess the range looks pretty good, but I don't know. When I see those swatches on the arms, they look pretty light. But then when I see the packaging, like just the product shots, it looks more dark. So I don't know if I feel like this range is the best. How many shades are there? There are 32 shades. That's not bad, but I'm not entirely sure how deep this goes. So yeah, I actually quite like the idea of a powder foundation. I feel like if I would wear foundation, then it would probably be a powder foundation, because I don't like the idea of something thick and creamy on your skin. And this seems more like wearable, like it's not gonna like stick or feel really heavy. Kind of depends how much you apply, of course, but I feel like powder would feel more natural to me. So I don't hate the idea of a powder foundation, but I've never tried one and I'm not gonna try one right now. Then we have a bunch of new Friends X Makeup Revolution stuff. Like, what is this? Are these napkins? What am I looking at? We have new 9-pan eyeshadow palettes. I think we have a big palette, a new big palette, and we have the lipstick from Man. And we have some setting sprays. It's kind of starting to feel like this collaboration is a brand on its own. Like this collaboration has more products than some brands have in their whole collection. I feel like they had a lot of ideas at the start and then they were just like, let's release it all. Let's not choose anything and just release it all and then do it in a few different waves so that people don't know what is going on and they end up buying everything. Like, they take away your option to choose. Like, if you would know at the start that this much makeup would be coming out, then maybe you would wait. Or maybe if everything came out at the same time, you would just pick up a few things. But now, maybe you picked some things up from the first launch and you didn't feel like it was perfect. But you were like, yeah, I want some Friends makeup. But then now you see this release, like the 3rd or 4th, and you see a perfect palette and you're like, oh, why did I buy that? But of course you didn't know. I feel like for consumers it would have been better if they would just have released one collection. Like, this is collection number 3. I feel like it just gets really overwhelming. I don't really know what they are doing. I'm not really interested in this brand overall, I have to say, but probably it's working for them and I'm just talking about this from a makeup consumer perspective, but they are a brand, they are a company, they want to make money. Probably they are doing that with this, otherwise there wouldn't be a collection number 3. I just think it's a lot. Like, 3 collections is a lot, and in every collection there's a lot of products. I do like the lipstick from Men. I think that really fits the theme and the collab. I guess I don't hate the look of these little 9-pans. I don't even know what to say about it because I'm overwhelmed and I don't even want to buy anything. I'm not even gonna continue and try to comprehend this. We're just gonna move on. It's a lot. Yeah. We have the Gloss Bomb Dip and there was a lot of discussion about this one. It's been 2 weeks since this released and I was kind of reading the comments and I feel like there are people who are like, this is not a good idea in the situation we are in right now worldwide. Who wants to stick their fingers in a lip gloss? And then are other people who are like, you clean your hands right. Like, they say you sanitize your hands right, you wash your hands. Here's my opinion. Even if we weren't in this situation right now, I wouldn't want to put my fingers in a gloss. Who wants to put their fingers in a gloss? It's so sticky, it's kind of gross. There's always something stuck on your fingers. Like, I don't know, I don't really like applying things with my finger. I don't really like putting my finger in anything. Sometimes I do it because I don't feel like there's a better option. But with lip gloss, there is a better option. Namely, a doe foot applicator. So all the arguments aside that are about it's gross, especially right now, I wouldn't like to put my finger in this. I think it would get really sticky on your hand, and then even if you don't have to wash your hands before, you have to wash your hands after, and who wants to do that? I just want to put my gloss on. I don't want to make a mess. I don't want to have to wash my hands. I don't want to do all that stuff. Like, I feel like glass components, the way they usually are perfect for the purpose. I wouldn't want to change anything about them, and here they are giving us this like it's something better than it was. It isn't. I do think that there are gonna be some people that buy this one because they're just like Fenty fan and they are just gonna support any release, but I feel like in general this is not really a smart release. And also, I wouldn't want to wash my hands any more than I'm already doing. It's like we are in lockdown right now, so it's not like I'm going out and being out for the day and then sanitizing my hands or washing my hands the whole day. I'm inside. But if things open up again, if I can go to the stores again or maybe go to a restaurant, I'm sanitizing my hands a lot. And I don't want to sanitize my hands more than is absolutely necessary because I'm already doing that the whole day. So I wouldn't want to do that to apply my gloss. So those are basically like the two parts of my opinion. Don't like this, and I completely understand that some people thought this was an April Fool's joke. Let's move on to these new blushes by Givenchy. They are like 4 blushes in one container and they are loose powder blushes. I kind of like the look of them and I like the colors, but I don't think this is really practical. I wouldn't want a loose powder blush. I don't feel like it's necessary. I don't feel like it's more convenient. I don't think it's gonna make the blush look any better, and it's just gonna make applying it more difficult. And I also think it would be kind of difficult to pick the color that you want, so then you're just mixing everything together and you still have one blush color. So I feel like they wanted to do something a bit different, but I don't think it's really working, and I'm not going to be picking anything of this up. Then we have these new Stila eyeshadow palettes, and they are like camo inspired. We have a green one, and I think we have a more nude pinky one as well, which I don't see in this photo right now. But at least here we have the green one. I'm bored. I don't care about this. I don't know what Stila is doing, but I feel like they are not releasing anything interesting. And yeah, this is... It's also muted and it's also soft and not really what I'm looking for right now. It's just too muted. It's not interesting. Like, the packaging and the theme doesn't suddenly make it more interesting. No. Then we have the Melt Mary Jane collection. I feel like this is the most exciting, one of the most exciting releases of these past 2 weeks. And when I first saw this, I was kind of on the fence. Like, I liked the idea of the palette. I like the color story. I love cool tones, and whenever I see a cool tone palette released, my first response is like, I want it. I want it, give it to me now, I'm gonna buy it. But then, if I think about it for a little bit longer, I realize that I have a lot of cool tones. I don't wear them all the time, like really smoky, really brown smoky and taupey, kind of smoky eye colors. I don't wear it all the time. I love the idea of it. I love seeing swatches of it. I love seeing palettes with that color story because you don't see them a lot. But to be realistic, I only need like 1 or 2 palettes with that color story because they're usually quite similar. And I don't wear those kinds of colors a lot, even though I love the idea of it. So first I was like really excited, but I was also like, I don't know about the Melt formula, because sometimes their formula is amazing and people rave about them, and sometimes the formula is just really bad and people hate it, and their palettes are pretty expensive. So it's like, I love the color story, I don't know if it's gonna be good, and it's probably gonna be pretty expensive. And then I thought about it for a little longer and I was like, I don't need it. I shouldn't buy this. It's not a good idea. I was also like this with the Natasha Denona Glam palette. When that was first released, I was so excited, but then I thought about it for a little bit longer and I decided not to get it. Even though I'm a cool tone lover, I have my cool tones and I feel like I have enough. I can imagine that at some time I'm gonna buy a cool tone palette again. I won't say that it's never going to happen, but maybe something that isn't this expensive, or maybe something that has my perfect formula, and this isn't it. I just have to be a little bit more strict when it comes to these kinds of color stories, because I'm like already excited because it's cool tones, and I shouldn't jump on a palette and buy it immediately just because I love cool tones, because then I will just end up with palettes with all the same color stories, which if you do that, you do you, but I don't feel like I need it. And also, let's talk about this theme for a little bit. I'm not into wheat themed makeup, and I get that this is kind of their thing and they're releasing it for 420. That's all fine, but that makes me think about releases a little bit longer. I didn't hate this one because it's not like, it doesn't say like literal like wheat palette or something like that. So if I would have really loved the color story, then I might have just gone for it, but the theme makes me think about it a little bit longer and makes it more likely that I'm not gonna buy it. Like if the theme of a palette is really something that I love, that really speaks to me, it can make me more inclined to buy it. Then we have a new collaboration with e.l.f. Cosmetics and Jen Atkin hair. I don't know anything about Jen Atkin. Once again, I'm not in the loop when it comes to collaborations. To be honest, I feel like there are some people who really love e.l.f. Cosmetics, are really into them, buy all their stuff, really love like their bite-sized palettes and blah blah blah, but that's not me. In the Netherlands, it used to be basically impossible to get e.l.f. Then we got it, and the new collections get to the Netherlands really slowly. Like 4 months after release, maybe 3-4 months. So then it's already old news. So that already makes me not inclined to buy it, but I'm not interested in e.l.f. in general. I just feel like the packaging looks really cheap, like the whole brand aesthetic is just really cheap, and that makes me not excited to buy from them. Some drugstore brands make me more excited than others. Like Essence and Catrice, they look drugstore, but sometimes they have really cute packaging, and I really trust that they can make some good makeup, and I'm sure that e.l.f. can do some good makeup. But I tried one bite-sized palette from them and I kind of hated it. So that didn't really make me want to buy anything else from them. I was like, if the quality is that good, okay, I will give it a chance. But I ended up not loving it, and I don't know, if the brand aesthetic doesn't speak to me, if it just looks really cheap, then I need to be convinced by the quality, and I'm not at that point. So I'm not really interested in anything from e.l.f. right now. So yeah, nothing about this launch really looks interesting to me. It looks kind of basic, like nothing special. A lot of nudie stuff. I don't really get it. Not for me. Then we have these two new cream, I wanted to say blushes. Two new cream gloss bombs by Fenty. The colors look kind of cute, but I'm not really into buying glasses right now. I don't know. I like glasses, but I'm not really like looking for glasses, like being interested, going on the hunt for it, like I am with some other makeup products. And even though it looks cute, it's not gonna be worth buying from the Sephora France website that has pretty high shipping. That's kind of also the problem with Fenty. I never have the ability to look at it in store. Like when I traveled one time, I saw Fenty in store, and then you can kind of decide better. At least I feel like when you see it in store, it's easier to make up your mind. And if I have to order it online and it has high shipping and it will take a long time to get to me, I don't really feel like buying this. I don't really feel like buying anything from Fenty right now. But maybe in the future, if I go to a Sephora again because I'm abroad, who knows, I will look at this, but not right now. Then we have some new cream blush sticks by Hourglass Cosmetics. Kind of the same story as those Patrick Ta ones. I'm interested in creams, but at the same time, I'm not. Part of me is interested, and then another part of me is like, you're not gonna like it. But I wanna try it. Probably because it's really trendy and a lot of people are talking about it and loving cream blushes and recommending them. So I'm kind of like being influenced by the hype. But this is not gonna do what I want. So maybe I should just pick up a really cheap cream blush sometimes and try it out and really make up my mind. But to be honest, I already kind of know what I'm gonna feel like, what I'm gonna think of it. We have this Neapolitan Ice Cream Tri-Colored Duo Balms and Lip Gloss. It's from Winky Lux. It doesn't really look interesting. I don't know how in a lip gloss tube, how do they make sure that those colors are separated? Doesn't it get all weird and muddy, and doesn't it all go like into each other and create a really weird color? I don't really see this working. I feel like their stuff is always looking a little bit gimmicky and I'm not really interested in it. Then we have this new eyeshadow palette by Rare Beauty. Another brand that I'm really not interested in. I don't think I can get it anyway in Europe, and I don't know, their stuff looks really like effortless and nude and creamy and no makeup and I don't really care about it. I'm not really into it. Like, they have a lot of cream stuff and I told you I'm not gonna buy any of that, and this eyeshadow palette just looks too basic for me to try and even find out if I can get it, so that's a pass for me. Let me see, we have some new Gucci lipsticks. They are the Brilliant Glow and Care. I don't even know if I can get Gucci. I don't even know where I would order that, if that would be possible. I'm not that into luxury beauty and luxury makeup, and I don't know, something about the Gucci brand doesn't really appeal to me. If I would buy a shiny lipstick, it would probably just be like a €4 Catrice lipstick and I would be happy with that. I don't feel like I need any more glowy lipstick, and especially not expensive ones. Then we have some new Lip Injection Power Plumping Cream Liquid Lipstick. So my camera stopped recording and I don't know exactly where I was, but I was talking about Too Faced Lip Injection Power Plumping Cream Liquid Lipstick. I guess it's kind of interesting that they are plumping liquid lipsticks, but I hear very bad things about their lip injection formula. Like, it's really painful and it stings, and I don't really feel like wearing anything like that, and also not really interested in the brand. Then we have some new lipsticks and lip liners from Huda Beauty. I guess it's kind of interesting because it's a more glowy, creamy lipstick, and I feel like before she had more matte lipsticks. Looks kind of nice, but I don't know if I need any of this. Maybe if I would see a really good review that I would be inclined to kind of research this more, but usually I don't invest a lot of money in lip products. I guess the swatches look kind of nice. I'm not mad at them. Like, looks nice and shiny and kind of healthy. Not bad. Doesn't look like a bad release, but not really interesting enough. So we have this new Be Perfect Cosmetics Manifest Dream Big palette, and there's a lot of shades in here. There are a lot of colors in here, different formulas. Maybe I would like to try this brand sometime, but this just looks a little bit too jumbled and it just doesn't really look like a color story. I don't really know what's going on. I'm sure it's nice quality because I do hear very good things about the quality. I don't know, I don't really know what I'm looking at. Also, I personally don't really like when shades in the palette are marbled. I feel like it looks cheap and it looks messy and I don't like it, and I feel like a lot of brands are doing that now, but it's not something I like. It's actually pretty affordable. It's not bad. I don't like hate it, but it's not something I'm gonna pick up. Maybe if they would release some smaller palettes with some more like color stories in them, I would be more inclined to buy anything from them. Then we have these new brow wax feather effect styling waxes from Colourpop. I feel like they're kind of late. Usually they're kind of fast, right? So why are they so late? What happened? I've never really tried this styling wax feather brow trend, but I think if I would try it, I wouldn't really order anything from Colourpop. Maybe I would try something from a brand that's easier like for me to access, like more accessible to me, and I don't feel like brow wax is something that I want to place in Colourpop order for. But I do think it's good that they finally added this to their range. But also when I see this kind of stuff, I'm also a bit like, shouldn't you just buy a soap? Is this very different from a soap? Does anyone know if this really makes a difference? I'm curious. So we have some new highlighters from Makeup Revolution. The Revolution Glow Splendor highlighter. Looks kind of nice, looks pretty luxurious. I don't hate it, don't love it, not really interested. Just wanted to show you, but it's nothing. I don't really have feelings about it. I guess it's nice. I don't hate it, don't love it. They are highlighters. I don't really see any very special shades that I would be interested in. Then we have this Wet n Wild Spongebob collection, and I don't know, I'm never interested in Wet n Wild. Never. It's a bit like e.l.f. I just think it always looks really cheap. Never really into it, but there's something about this collection that I thought was pretty cute. I don't know what it is. I don't know. It still looks pretty cheap, but I thought there was something cute about these collections. Or this collection, like those sponges. I thought it was pretty cute, and the eyeshadow palette, I don't hate it. I wouldn't buy it, but I guess it's kind of cute. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what I'm feeling and why. Why is this different? Is it SpongeBob? I've never really watched SpongeBob, so I don't know. Is it maybe the blue background? Does it make it look more interesting? I don't know. So we have this new collection by BH Cosmetics, the Remix Dance collection. We have 3 palettes. Don't like it. Don't hate it, don't like it. Don't really have feelings about this. It's just another generic release in my eyes. Like we have a rainbow palette, a more pastel palette, and then smoky palette with a pop of purple. I'm sure the quality is nice, but I think it's a bit of a boring release. Nothing special. I think BH Cosmetics can do better than this. Then we have a new Act Natural mascara by Colourpop. So this is gonna be more natural than the other mascara that they had. I'm not really someone who looks for natural mascaras. I like a bit of volume and length. I'm not someone that wants a mascara that just adds a little bit of natural dimension. I guess there are people out there who want that, but it's not me. Then we have this new eye contour duos by KKW Beauty. This is just eyeshadow. These are just different kinds of eyeshadow in kind of like the color of bronzers or contour powders. Man, this brand is getting more boring and more boring with every release, and I don't know how they do it because they were already so boring. Not interested. Then we have this new blush palette by Sigma. This is the Quarter Rose blush palette. I'm not really interested in a blush palette. I don't really want a palette with blushes because there are always a few colors that I don't like, and I already see a few colors in here that I wouldn't use. I guess I kind of like the idea of a blush palette, but in the end it's not really practical, and I never end up buying it because there are just blushes here that I would never touch. Like there are always some lighter blushes in there, and then some darker blushes, and then some of the lighter blushes are too light, and then at least 2 of the darker blushes are too dark. I would have been more interested if they would just have released separate blushes. But I guess this is cheaper for them to do, and it makes them more money because it's a higher price, but not really interested in that one. Then we have this new collection by Sleek, and when I first looked at it, I was kind of interested. It has some neutral shades, but it also has some pops of color that are a little bit more pastel, but I definitely have bought enough pastel eyeshadows and I don't need it. But I guess I kind of like it. Maybe it's also the color of the packaging, that light blue. That makes it all pop a little bit more. I kind of like it. But also, I have this. So if I didn't have anything else, I might have tried this, but I'm just gonna appreciate it from afar. Yes, I definitely shouldn't buy it, but there are some very nice pops of colors in there that I would personally probably enjoy if I had it. Then we have some makeup remover wipes by Anastasia Beverly Hills. Why are brands releasing makeup remover wipes? Why? I feel like when brands start doing this, they are sliding off. They don't know what they're doing anymore. Who gets excited about makeup remover wipes? They are bad for the environment anyway. And they are also bad for your skin. Why? 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 I don't know, man. They are not releasing anything interesting. Like every release is so weird, and they're just releasing a few small things, and then they're releasing this. What is going on with them? I feel like the one year, like 2019, they were releasing so many things. Then people were like, stop doing that. And they didn't release basically anything in the past year. Like a few lipsticks, highlighter. Did they even release a palette? Oh, they released that small palette with existing shades. They did that. So what is going on here? They went from releasing everything to releasing nothing to releasing makeup wipes. Why are brands releasing this kind of stuff? You're a makeup brand. You can do so many interesting things. Leave the makeup wipes to the boring brands. That's what I would think. If I would have a makeup brand, I wouldn't spend time making these kinds of products. Also, I don't get why Onesize even started with makeup wipes. What's that about? Alright, then we have this eyeshadow palette by Viseart or Viseart. When I saw the outside, I was like, yes, that looks so cute and so summery. I was so excited to see the inside, but the inside, I don't hate it, but I don't love it. It's like a neutral palette with a few pops of color. It's not like completely neutral with just one pop. We have some yellow, we have some like tangerine, we have some blue, but it's not for me. It's not special enough, and if I would buy it, I would just buy it for the packaging. So I'm just gonna skip over this. Kind of sad about it, but I'm not gonna be buying anything just for the packaging, because once you have it, are you gonna take it out and just look at the packaging? I don't do that. I know I don't do that. So then I buy something for the packaging and then I never look at it again. So we're not gonna do that. Then we have some eyeshadow sticks from Colourpop. Don't really care. I'm not really into eyeshadow sticks. I guess it makes sense for the brands, and maybe some people are really into eyeshadow sticks and are gonna buy it. It ain't me. Alright, so we have some new face palettes by Benefit Cosmetics. I guess it's better than what they did before. It's a bit less bulky. I heard some people complain that there was no water palette. I don't really care about that stuff. I wouldn't buy something just because it's my sign or my kind of sign. Like, my sign is Pisces, and so there isn't a palette here for me, but I couldn't care less about that. It's a bit weird, but I don't care. I don't know, I don't hate it, but I would rather just pick the things myself, because also it's like they kind of switched up the same things a little bit in these palettes, but not one of these palettes looks perfect. Like, if I could choose, I would switch things around, and they gave some options, but at the same time you're not gonna buy two of these because then you have doubles, and probably if you're into Benefit you already have doubles because there's a hula in both. Like, two of these palettes have hula, and then if you have Georgia, that's also in two palettes. So I don't hate it. I like it better than what it was before, but if I would ever try anything from Benefit, I would like it to be just one single thing. But at the same time, I didn't want to buy anything in that like bulky box packaging. At first glance, I thought this is boring. Then at second glance, I realized what it was, and I was like, I don't hate it, it's better, but none of these are perfect. I would just have liked to switch things around myself and decide myself what I would like to have the bigger pan and the smaller pan of. I'm a little bit on the fence about it, but I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna buy it. I don't know what the price is, it doesn't say. I haven't completely made up my mind about this. Then we have a new Shantikai collection. As always, it looks absolutely beautiful. I do kind of like the packaging, but it's a bit much. It's a lot. I think I liked the collection that they did before this better. It's called the Flower Power collection. Okay, I get that. I'm not gonna buy anything from this. It's too expensive for sure. Then we have some new Colourpop eyeshadow quads. Why does this look so cheap? I do like it better than the 5 pens. I thought those looked really cheap, but this just also looks cheap and no interesting color stories. I guess I like that they're trying different formats, but I don't like it better than what they had. And I just think it looks cheap, no interesting color stories. Like, it's all so basic. And probably it's pretty expensive because they are getting more and more expensive. Nope, nope, nope. Not for me, nothing I'm gonna be picking up. So let's see if there are still some indie releases that I want to talk about. So Lethal Cosmetics, they revealed their Glitch Multichrome liquid eyeshadows, and when they first showed these on their YouTube, I was so excited. I was like, these look so beautiful. But then I was like, I don't know if I like liquid eyeshadow. I don't know if I'm gonna use it a lot. Also, these are pretty expensive. You get more product than usual, but I'm never gonna go through a tube of this in 6 months. They are probably gonna dry out in like 6 to 12 months, and I'm never gonna use this up. So I don't really get why they put in more product. In the video they were like, we know you will want to use this every day, and I'm not really like agreeing with that, because who uses their liquid eyeshadows every day, especially if it's a color like this? I think only a few people. I think this is for a very special occasion, like a special look probably. And even if you wear a lot of color, you're not gonna use the same eyeshadow every day for 6 months or a year, and probably that's what you would have to do to use this up. So I would rather have seen that they put less in the bottle and then just made it a bit cheaper. But probably this is better for them, because you're gonna buy it anyway and then they're gonna make more money. I like the look of the lilac-y one the most, and if these come to like the Douglas website, the Dutch website of Douglas, if they get there and maybe there is a discount or something, I might want to pick that one up, but I didn't feel like it was worth it to order this from the Lethal Cosmetics website, because then I would have to pay really high shipping and it's already pretty expensive, and I've already spent enough money on makeup this month. So this is not gonna be something I'm gonna buy now and maybe not ever. Also, I forgot to mention I'm basically on no buy right now. I'm not gonna buy any more makeup for the rest of the month. Then there was one last sneak peek I wanted to talk about, and that is this Menagerie Cosmetics and Annette's Makeup Corner Serenity palette. So they kind of showed this video of the outer packaging. Pretty exciting. Really happy for Annette. I think it's probably gonna be a really colorful, really interesting color story. I'm probably not gonna pick this up. Even if I would really love this color story, I would probably not do it, because I just ordered from Menagerie. It was pretty stressful. I paid a lot of money for shipping and taxes, and I don't feel like doing that again so soon. Also, I don't know if this is gonna be like completely for me, because our makeup aesthetics aren't really like the same. It kind of depends what she does. I'm sure it's gonna be really nice, but there's a really small chance that I'm gonna be picking this up. So that was everything for the new releases. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about these new releases. Is there anything you want to pick up? Anything you have some thoughts about? Would love to hear it. I'm personally probably not gonna buy any of this, and that's good, because I'm on a no buy and I'm happy that I'm not tempted. That makes my life a lot easier. So yeah, don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe, and then I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!